So I'm at the old house renovation project, and the foundation guys have been working all week to put in new pier systems under the floor. And tomorrow they're going to start jacking up the floor system to raise the floor where it's out of level inside the house. And before they do that, I want to remove one of our windows. It is underneath one of the walls that they're going to be manipulating tomorrow. And I don't want them to move that wall and break this window. So we're going to try and take this window out of the frame. I've never done it before, but my window restoration guy gave me some instructions, so we're going to try this now, and hopefully it goes okay. So our window is 2 different sashes. Each one of these is called a sash. Because I've already taken off some of the trim work around the outside, this one is it's going to be a little bit easier than if you were doing this with the plaster or drywall on your walls. So the first thing I need to do is make sure that my bottom sash is movable. We're going to take the bottom sash off first. And we have these weights in the wall. This is the counterweight that supports the window. So when I push the window up, these weights move down. They're connected by this cotton rope here. So for this window, we have the side trim removed, which means the window is free to move out of its frame. It's still connected with the cotton rope here that holds the weights. And we're gonna cut this cotton rope and tie a knot in it so that the weights don't fall. However, because we do have access to the weights, it's not really that big of a deal. We could just take them out and set them off to the side. But if you didn't have access to your weights, like your wall was still up here, then tying a knot in the rope would be really helpful so that you can access them again later when you go to put the window sash back in place. I'm just gonna cut the rope, and this is gonna slide right out. Okay. I'm gonna need a ladder. Okay, so I cut this rope. I'm leaving myself enough room to be able to make a knot with what's left. Hopefully I can cut through this. Ooh, those are heavier than I thought they'd be. And somebody painted all over this rope, which makes it harder to put a knot into it. Come on. Okay, I got my knot there that is holding these weights in place. And now this window will be able to come out on that side. I'll do the same thing to the other side. Okay, so now I'm going to see if my window will just come out of the frame, and hopefully it will. There we go, just like that. Easy one down. Now the harder one is going to be the top sash, because I think it's been painted into place for many years. It looks like in order to take off this top window, I'm going to have to remove some more trim. I've never done this before, so I'm sort of just investigating and learning as I go. It looks like this piece is separate from this piece, and this is sort of creating a channel for this upper sash to move up and down in. And I can't tell if this piece is separate, but I'm assuming. So I might have to take off this first piece so that I can remove this thing that's creating the channel so that I can get the window out. The way this middle piece is sort of moving, it seems independent of this bigger piece here. So I think if I take off these pieces, I should be able to take off this piece, which will allow me to get the top sash out. I'm noticing this piece is installed with flathead screws, which is always a little tedious to remove, but so I'll have to get those out first, and then hopefully this piece out. So what the screws are doing are actually holding this splice together on this jam piece, for lack of a better term. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but I'm calling it a jam piece. You can see here where it's kind of come apart. This screw was holding them together here So I don't necessarily need to take the screws out to take this piece off. Oh, this is all one piece of wood from back here. From out here to here is all one piece of wood, and then right here where this splice is a new piece of wood that goes all the way down. So I'm not exactly sure what to do. Since I don't know exactly what I'm doing, I'm just going to start with getting the window so that it can move up and down so we can actually look and see what it looks like once it's moving. So as I'm starting to release the paint from the outside, I noticed that this piece in here is actually moving. So it is a separate piece. So I think that's going to be my solution. I'm going to be able to go through and take this piece off, which will, I only need to do it to one side. So, but that'll allow us to swing the window out of the frame once we get this entirely off. So. Actually just sliding out. How about that? Okay, well, I'm going to loosen the other side of the window first, and then I'll come back to this and see if I can't pull it all the way out. Yeah, it's not gonna go. So, back to cutting more paint on the outside. Feel the whole wall shake. Try it down from the inside. I'm gonna break a piece of glass. I'm angry at the window. I want you to come down. Not angry, just it's being stubborn. Look, I got this whole piece out. Yay! Huh. Oh, nice. That makes it easier. Still stuck in that corner at the top. It has been a long time since this window has moved. It had so many layers of paint on the outside and on the inside. I finally got it. The weights on this side have already been cut and lost at some point, but we still have the weights in the rope on this side, so I'm going to cut it and knot it just like I did with the other window. And then I should be able to just pop this out of the frame. Okay, this rope has not been covered with paint, but still, it might be the original rope. It's still really stiff, but I got a knot in it that That keeps the weights there, and should be able to move this window frame out. Ta-da! 90-year-old windows saved. So, only thing left to do is to cover the hole. So I've got the window out and we've covered over it temporarily, so I feel confident now that when they go to lift up the floor tomorrow, well, at least they won't break this window. Hopefully they don't break any of them. But I mean, it was a learning curve for me. I wasn't sure what all the parts and pieces of the window frame were. I feel like going forward, if I had to take out other windows, I feel a little bit more confident about what pieces I need to take apart and how to get the window sashes out and stuff like that. So overall, it wasn't too terrible. It was mostly just the paint, the years and years of paint that were holding the window stuck and in place, and that was the hardest part. But we got it out, and it's safe. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to see how the floor lifting goes in the next episode.